Hello everyone, welcome to Intellipaat's live webinar on why blockchain is a trending technology. Today's webinar will be conducted by Mr. Arjun, who is a cloud, DevOps, and blockchain expert. He has 13 years of experience in software development and operations on multiple technology stacks. He is expert in building enterprise blockchain solutions with Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, and Stellar. He has also expertise in building cryptocurrencies and crypto exchange. So, guys, let's welcome Mr. Arjun into the session. Sir, over to you.
Hey, thanks for the welcome. Hey everyone, can you guys hear me well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to hear you, sir.
Okay, great. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's get started. See, this session is going to be kind of a very high level view of what is blockchain, and then why you should learn blockchain, and then what is the potential, what is a blockchain or a Web 3.0 bringing into the market, and what are some of the use cases which people are developing, and what you can actually do with a blockchain, right? So we're not going to go deep dive into any of the technologies here, but then I'm going to give high level understanding of what, why, how, and things like that. And I'll also at the end I'll also open for a question and an answer. So feel free to ask any questions you have. So let's get started. Okay, so what is blockchain? Say on a simple term, blockchain is nothing but a database. Okay, so don't think that is that all, right? It's not like that, right? So you can think like it's a database. Now, I'll give an example. Why this blockchain started, and then why this has become as a revolution. So initially, or even now, most of us, when you want to transfer money from your account to someone else's account, let's say that your friend who's in United States, and then you're from India, let's say, and then you're trying to transfer money from India to United States. So what you actually do, you go to bank and then you tell them that, transfer this much amount of money. And bank will say, yes, okay, it will take 2 to 3 days of a time. And then I'm also going to charge you some fees for that to transfer. And then by the time your friend who's in United States who receives it, he might receive less, maybe considering because of the exchange rate and then the fees which will be deducted. So now there's no other option, right? That's the only option what we have. And to solve that problem, Bitcoin took a birth, right? So in Bitcoin, the same thing I can do that, I can transfer money from my account to your account without anyone in between. Okay, so you don't need a bank or you don't need the intermediary person. So basically, you're eliminating the middleman, and then you can directly do a transaction from, between the peers. Another easy example I can give you is, earlier we had this, what do you call this? There's a free website where you can actually download some movies, right? I'm going to recall that name. So where I have my video and then you have torrents. The way torrents works is there is no company in between where they have a movies and we download from them. It's not like that. The way torrents works is you have a movie, I will download it from you, and I have a movie, you can download it from me, right? So it's a peer-to-peer network. There is no somebody in between. So that is what the main reason how it has started. As you also know that when blockchain is started, we start to talk about something called as a decentralization. So decentralization means, in this example, the banking example I gave you, where everything is centralized. That means this bank controls your money, bank controls when to transfer the money, or bank controls how much fees it has to give, right? I take another example. Now you want to send an email, right? You use Gmail, right? Gmail is owned by Google, so that means Google can control everything there. Or you use Instagram, right? Whatever you post it, Instagram, basically the Meta, the company behind that, that can control everything what's happening there. So those things called as a centralized world, or the Web 2.0, what we call it as, like previous way of doing things. Now what we call blockchain as a Web 3.0, that's the next generation of internet. So where we eliminate that middleman, and then we implement the decentralization. So that means here, when I want to do the transfer of money from my account to your account, if I want to transfer this money through Bitcoin network, Bitcoin, think Bitcoin is like, you can transfer money, okay? There is nobody called as a Bitcoin company, or there's no company exist who's processing your request. And the way it works is this entire processing of your money transfer request, it is decentralized. It is available with everyone in the world, so that when I send a request, let's say now we have this blockchain network, right? And I see here Arati, Chanda, right? Now you two are part of the blockchain network. You don't own a company, but you can come part of the blockchain network. And when I send a request that, send the money to one of my friend, you can even process that my request. And then if you process my request, you get paid. I'll give you some fees for this transaction you did. And then also this particular program will give you some reward to you as well. So in that way, if you see here, right, anyone who participate in the network who's processing the request, and they can make money. So that's why we call it decentralized. Another way to explain decentralization is, see, now Indian government is telling that we have spent, let's say, 2 billion for a particular state. Okay, for the state this year we have spent 2 billion. And how are you going to trust whatever they say, right? There's no way to trust it. They might give you some bank statement telling that yes, we have spent so much of money and this is what happened. But think of this, the same requirement, if we implement it in a blockchain, what's going to happen is, now we as a citizens, and we all going to have kind of a ledger. I'm going to call this a ledger, where whatever the government money they're spending, every time when they spend money, that entry will come and sit in our ledger. Okay, so I will have a information telling that, okay, so this government has spent so much money, and I have this detail, and you also have a detail, you also have a detail, like many of us have a detail. And as and then the data come and sit with us. Now what happens here is, there's no way that anyone can change it, or fraud the system, or change the system, right? You cannot, because this is a decentralized, whatever data has been gone into that, and it will be available with me and with you and with many people in the world. And whatever content I have it, the government will not have a control on it. So it is completely decentralized. And then another important character what we talk about is, it is immutable. So basically, any content which goes and sits in the blockchain, you cannot delete it. It's completely, you cannot delete it. And why you cannot delete it? So what happens here is, now let's say that first entry I insert into the database, blockchain database, and I insert it here. And what it actually does is, it creates a unique hash. SHA-256 algorithm is what we use. Once it creates a unique hash, then very next transaction when it is happening, we kind of link the first transaction and the second transaction. A block, we call it as a first block and the second block. We kind of link these two by using the previous hash. Hash, you think like a unique ID, for this transaction. And similarly, when the third transaction is happening here, we would link the previous hash. This hash would be linked to the previous hash. So in that way, you keep this chain would keep on growing. That's why you called it's a block and a chain. It's a blockchain. Now, what happens here is, this hash, whatever I mentioned here, which gets generated, that is a very unique for the data what you insert. So for example, now I'll just show one with one example. I'll go to blockchain only here. Now take a look at this. Now what we have here is, we have three transactions here. Now the first transaction I'm gonna enter. The first transaction happened here is, this is Arjun, and I'm gonna mine it. Okay. Now think of this as a first block gets created, and this is the value we are inserting into the blockchain. And for this particular block, and you have this hash, you can see that this gets created. Now for the second block, I'm going to add another entry here, and I'm going to mine it. Okay, for the third block, I'm going to enter another entry here, then I'm going to mine it here. Now if you notice here, for this block one, there's a unique hash gets created, 4 zeros and 9bf6. And for the block two, this particular hash 000 BD, and this is the one got created for this block, but these two blocks linked with the this value you see here, previous block hash. That's 4 zeros 9bf6 409bf6, and similarly here this got linked here. Now what happens here is, when we talk about a distributed or decentralized blockchain, now whatever entry have been made to my system, now if you see, this is I am the peer A. the same entry will be available with the peer 2 and same entry will be available with the peer 3, right? Three people having the copy of it. Now, if I am the hacker and I'm trying to modify the system, now I'll come to the system, then I'm trying to change something. And if you just noticed here, the moment I try to change something and it has changed in a red, yeah. So that means if you try to modify anything, the block which you're trying to modify from there, every other block will be invalidated because you're trying to change something which is immutable. You cannot change it. And let's say that somebody will change here and telling, okay, this was the value. And people will not accept it because there are many other people in the network. They know that, okay, now I think what you have is the wrong value and what we have is the right value. So in this way, since this particular value is being shared with the multiple people in the world and things cannot be changed. That's why we call it a immutable. And then we also call it as a, decentralized world. Okay, I'm just going to talk about some more concepts here. Now, as I mentioned, where we want to have a decentralized environment and where we remove intermediates. This can be of any use case, right? You go to Uber, right? And you take a cab in Uber where the actual cost, if you were to pay a driver directly for a trip, you might pay $10, let's say, right? Because you're going through Uber, you might pay $14. The $4 might go to Uber, right? You're paying extra $4. But if you design this application, Uber kind of application in a blockchain, then you'll be directly paying to the driver, and then driver can actually collect it from you. In that way, you don't pay to the intermediary person. Okay, there's one question here. Chandas, when there are too many transactions at the same point of a time, how does the chaining works? Okay, so the way it works here is when there are many transactions is coming up in Bitcoin or Ethereum network, if you take it, it will combine all the transactions as a one block. So in reality, in a block, you will see many transactions. So I'll quickly show you now the production of Ethereum. Okay, so now you see this. This is the Ethereum blockchain, production blockchain. You can see the recent transaction. The recent most block which got created is this number. This is the block number, how much you can read. 14 million, you can see 14 millionth block got created. In this block, there are 127 transactions. So what it actually does, it combines all the transaction and then it creates a one block. Okay, moving on. And as I mentioned, it's a distributed authority. So the authority, you don't need a middleman anymore. You don't need anyone controlling your network, right? It's a distributed. And it speeds of transaction. Like if you go the example I gave you, where to transfer money from India to United States, and it takes days together of time. In Bitcoin or Ethereum, this can be done in 10 to 15 minutes of a time. Now, you must be wondering, 10 to 15 minutes, that's so much of time, right? That's a lot of time. Actually, you want to happen in less than a minute or in a few seconds. So that's something blockchain is still working on to, do enhance on that, right? That's trying to enhance the speed and the scalability aspect of it. Okay, so there's another question you were asking. So all the transactions are supposed to be mined before creating a block. Yes, yes. So in the network, when any transaction goes here, I mentioned in the beginning that when a transaction goes here, the someone will process your request, right? The process is nothing but a mining. I'm not going to go detail into all of that now. So, but on a high level, when I send a request, so this particular network, basically there's an algorithm written inside. What that algorithm is telling that, okay, I want one of you to solve this puzzle. So that puzzle will have a heavy difficulty. Whoever find out that puzzle, you know, they will get a reward. And for anyone to solve that puzzle, it's not simple. It's a brute force algorithm. So they will have to put so much of effort. That means, their CPU should be very high and it's going to consume more electricity. But whoever process that request and then they get a reward for that. That is why we say Bitcoin is very powerful machine. There's no way people can hack it. So that's why instead of trying to hack a Bitcoin network, they become a part of a blockchain network so that they become a miners and they can make money there. And lowers the cost. So which we have identified that when you go to the bank, it's so much of money, but you can go it's a cheaper cost. And otherwise also there are people who you have a phone and you can, transfer the money from anyone to anyone. Okay. And so as I mentioned here, now whenever you create any block, and it actually creates a hash, unique hash. And I'll tell you one more thing. When I say unique hash here, right, and the way this works is, now there is nothing, no data here, and there's a unique hash gets created. Now, if I enter a data here, like Yuvraj, so you see this unique hash gets created. If I just make a tiny modification, and this data will completely change. So I just added a dot here, and see that everything changes. So because of this uniqueness, it's very difficult for anyone to identify. If I give this code to anyone, and then for them to to find out what is the text, which they have asked, which is impossible. No one can do that. Okay. Now I'll also want to talk about that. How do we become experts on a blockchain, right? Now, before to this, I'll talk about some more thing. You guys would have heard in the recent days, people are talking about NFTs, right? And people are also talking about the metaverse. In fact, Facebook has changed the company name from Facebook to Meta, right? So metaverse means it's the future of internet. It is like an immersive experience. Like currently what we are in, this is called a Web 2.0. Here, like let's say you want to buy some clothes, right? What you do, you go to amazon.com, and then you just scroll something and then select some dress and buy it. You don't know whether the dress will fit, whether the color will look good for you. You don't have any idea. You just buy it, try, and then maybe you can return it, right? Whereas in the metaverse, it is like, you guys should have watched this Avatar movie, right? So in the Avatar movie, what that hero actually does, it gets into the one box, right? And they do some, they switch on the machine, let's say, right? And after some time, he wakes up in a new world, right? So a very imaginary world. So you can create such kind of an imaginary world in with the blockchain and the metaverse. So where basically you will be wearing a VR or augmented reality glasses, and maybe the complete VR and AR suit, right? But when you wear that and you feel like, you are in altogether different world, you're still in your wherever you are, but then, you feel like you are in a different world. And because it is not a one way, the new world what they're creating it, making it more interactive. That means you can go to that world and you can talk to the friends. Now, for example, we are having a call here. It's just a Zoom call and we're just talking something, right? But if we were to have the same meeting in a metaverse, it'll be like, there's a big table is there, and then Arjun will have my own avatar. Like I'll have my own look, and everyone, all of you will have your own look. You can have any look, yeah. And then we can just sit and chat and have drink or have food and party, right? You can do whatever. The people are hosting events. People, Snoop Dogg has hosted a event, and people are buying a land in metaverse, and people are doing what do you say? Even the bank recently, JP Morgan has opened a bank in metaverse, right? And you also heard NFT, right? NFT means you have something unique photo with you, and you want to tell the world that that is owned by you, and you create a non-fungible token, unique hash for that, and tell the world that this belongs to me. And if anyone else wants to buy, and then pay me $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever number, right? And you can see people crazily buying NFTs. So these NFTs and the metaverses and everything is the future. Okay. And but you can build it with blockchain, and then along with other technologies as well. So things what you will have to learn here is blockchain architecture. How do you design a blockchain system? The blockchain system, because you blockchain, you can apply for a finance world, right? Where money transfer, cross region world, micro payments, right? Any financial industry or agriculture or education, government, healthcare, supply chain, many use cases. Wherever you feel that there is no trust, and then you want to enable a trust, blockchain is the only technology which will bring a trust, in any business, because the data whatever goes inside the blockchain cannot be deleted. That means you can believe that thing. So blockchain architecture you'll be learning, and then the cryptocurrency aspect of it, you have a Bitcoin, Ethereum. And how do you create your own coin, right? Tomorrow, let's say you want to build your own startup blockchain company, and for that company you want to have your own token, right? So that people can go and buy a token from you, like ERC20 token. You will learn how do you create the token, and some of the data structure, how you're going to build a database, and how this blockchain things works, and something called as a smart contract here. So when there is a agreement between you and me, and we want to execute that, not with a intermediary person, instead you write a program, that program will get executed. Very simple term. I'm a tenant, and then there's a program written every month on 5th, there'll be money deducted from my account to the owner account. Right? That can be a program. So smart contract is a big thing in blockchain. And you also need to know web development, right? You know blockchain, and then on top of that, you also need to know about how do you build a mobile applications or how you build a web applications, right? Non-blockchain technology is also something you need it. And programming languages is good. Here we use Solidity or Java, Python, C Sharp. You can Node.js. You can choose any languages here. Yeah. Yeah. How do we get started? So let me just hand over this to you. You want to take the control from here? Let me know if you guys have any questions. I can answer the questions. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay. So there's a question. SHA-256 algorithm is only used or any hashing algorithm? No, so only SHA-256 algorithm is used. No other algorithm. So you can ask me any questions if you guys have any questions. Do we need to understand Bitcoin technology? Yes, you need to. That's like a fundamental. You need not to understand the programming behind that, but you need to understand, what is that idea behind and how Bitcoin works. What happens when the transaction is goes inside and how the proof of work algorithm works. Very powerful. I mean, you will be stunned when if you read this Bitcoin white paper in a very detail. If you spend some time and read through it, you'll be like amazed to see that who's a genius have written that particular such a powerful code. Okay, what is the salary of a blockchain developer? Okay, see, what I am seeing currently is lot of new startups are doing big products in blockchain, right? Considering it is what you say that it's on a high demand, and then you also know that Facebook, they changed the name as a Meta, right? And there's so many people are developing it. So in that way, even if you see recently Microsoft acquired a company, Apple is working on it, Google is working on it, and Facebook is working on it, and a lot of companies have started to work on it. And another thing is, when there is more demand and there are less talents in the world, and then obviously you will get paid more than other technologies. No, you cannot decode that. Okay. So it's very simple. You give Arjun as an input and you get that unique hash. That's it. Next time when you want to come in, you give a Arjun and then you get a unique hash code. Why is it called as a decentralized DB? Because the database is not only with one person, the database is shared with multiple people. The one example I gave you, the way Indian government is spending the money, right? We all are having a database, and then whatever entries coming in, and it is spread across in all the databases. So that's why we call it a decentralized database, and it is not controlled by anyone. Okay, so what is the question, Chinda? Okay, so though the technology is quite old and established, why do you think it is taking time for a formal usage? Okay, very good question. See, you guys hearing machine learning and AI, right? This started like 10-20 years back. Okay, but in the recent 5 years only, we are seeing people are adopting it. So that is because there is this curve, we call it as. Okay, so initially people will be hesitant to adopt it. Only the early adopters will be there, they'll adopt it, and slowly when they start to see more people are adopting it, and then the adoption will become high, and later that it will start to come as a standard technology. This you take any technology, that is how the what is a general behavior. But you can see that there's so many applications have been developed on a blockchain, on a metaverse, and people are making a lot of money. And even the big companies also doing it. And then there's some challenges as well that which technology cannot solve. So there's still a lot of research is also happening. But the fintech world, and then your metaverse and the NFT and everything, it is rocking. It is only blockchain's only technology which can solve that problem. Okay, all right. Any more question? Okay, can a non-technical person learn this? See, there are two ways. One is I am a programmer and I can build a blockchain application, but it's not sufficient that we need someone who understand the blockchain business, right? And who understands getting a business or anything non-technology things as well. Like for example, if you talk about NFTs, you don't need a technologies or anything. But if you want to build your own blockchain dApps, right? There are so many dApps are available. Quickly show that. I don't know if I have that much of time. So there is this website called a dApp Radar. In this website, you can actually go and see there's so many dApps, decentral application people have developed it. Like there's so many games. You can see this. These are the games here. Now people are building a games like a play to earn. That means you play a game and you actually earn real money, real cryptocurrencies. And you can see that there's so many games and gambling, decentralized finance, exchanges, collectibles, marketplaces, and so many apps have been people have developed. Right? If you want to build like this, then yes, you need to know the technology. Okay, can this be integrated with IoT hardware platform to make it a smarter? Yes, you can do that. Yeah, so people are already working on, right? Now, if you know this company called as a Maersk, which is a world's biggest shipment company, so they have implemented a blockchain system. Like you go to Maersk company and you hand over your courier and you tell them that okay, send it to my friend who lives in a different country, and this information, which is in the shipment, right? Actually, those are IoT devices, sends the information to the Hyperledger Fabric blockchain. And you as an end user, and you can actually see it in the web portal, where is your item currently and what is the current state. You'll be able to see them. You can integrate. And you can integrate with the AIML as well. Oh, okay. Earlier, blockchain tech was known as VPN. Okay. Okay. So you did not understand what do you mean by what is D? This one? Okay. Oh, this one? Okay. When you open Play Store or Apple iTunes, right, and you see a mobile, those are apps, mobile apps, right? If you build the same application apps in blockchain, we call that's a DApp. So it's like decentralized app. Cool. Thank you. Yep. Okay. So I'm good then. Shall I hand it over?
Okay, so basically, I'm Rudrani this side. I am the senior course advisor here at Intellipaat, and I will be telling you about the courses that we provide when it comes to blockchain. So there are two courses. If in case you go to Intellipaat's website and you can just type in blockchain here, and you would be easily be able to find two of these courses, which is blockchain certification training course, and one we have a post graduation degree certificate in blockchain. I will be giving you an overview over both of these, and then you can let me know if in case you are interested. I will also be helping you as to what are the steps to go ahead and proceed for the enrollment of the same. So will first talk about the blockchain certification training course, the in-house course that Intellipaat provides in partnership with IBM. So we are the official learning partners of IBM for this particular program, out of which three things are going to come. Firstly, the entire course curriculum is designed and developed by IBM itself, keeping it at par with the international standards of what you need to know in blockchain. Secondly, you will be trained by professors who are IBM certified, having 15 plus years of experience in the technology that they are going ahead and delivering. Thirdly, you will be getting an IBM certificate. This certificate is valid for a duration of lifetime. It is valid through all top organizations in India and abroad. And this is going to be recognized as a professional certificate throughout. All right. IBM is one of the most reputed, globally recognized training providers. So this is also going to hold a lot of value onto your portfolio in terms of, the accreditation that you are getting. All right. So coming to what are the services you are going to get as a part of this program. Firstly, this is going to be the entire curriculum is going to be delivered to you as live interactive sessions with the instructors over a virtual platform like Google Meets or Zoom. All of these sessions are going to be recorded and put in your learning management portal, the access to which you will have for a duration of lifetime. Along with that, all the modules for which you are going to have live sessions for, we will also be giving you the pre-recorded materials that has been recorded in a controlled environment. If in case you are someone who wants to revise a little bit before they sit for the live classes, you would be able to do so through the self-paced videos that we provide. Throughout the program, we will be giving you a very, very good practical exposure in terms of 40 hours of industry specific real time live projects, all of which are going to make sure that, first of all, whatever knowledge we are delivering, you can put it into a practical implementation. But also at the same time, when you put all of these projects onto your portfolio, it should count as an industry experience for you to be able to make easy transitions. Or if in case you are someone who wants to start your career or make a transition or have an organizational shift in the same domain. Then we come to the certification. I already told you about the certification. One of the most important services that we provide as a part of this program is the job assistance. So this is the most lucrative service that we provide that will help all of our students have easy organizational shifts, transitions, and so on. So basically, it is a 5-step process that we follow. The first step is as soon as you reach 70% completion of the course, we will be assigning you with a professional team who expertises in portfolio building. Now, this team would entirely be working on your CV, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and all the other official profiles that you have, as to make it very, very noticeable to the recruiters and the professional community. Have all the right keywords and points of lines and statements to pass the applicant tracking software that most MNCs have. Make it heavy on blockchain and optimize it according to industry standards. The second step is we will be connecting you with a team of training and placement officers who would be entirely responsible in communicating with you that if you're going ahead with the placements, what are your expectations and requirements out of it? Is there any particular location that you're looking at? Is that a firm? Is that a sector? Apart from that, if you're already a working professional, on our end, we understand that whenever you're going ahead and learning and upskilling with the technology, of course, that is to see a growth in your career chart, because of which you can easily expect a salary hike in the minimum range of 65 to 70% on your current salaries, minimum range I'm talking about. And we will also be vouching for higher levels of positions in the hierarchy as well. Okay. Now, the third step is the recruitment drive. So, regarding the recruitments, we have partnerships and collaborations with around 500 plus reputed multinational companies and tech giants all around the world and throughout India. And as a part of that, we will be actively giving you placements, all of which are inclusively created for Intellipaat students. So, you do not have to go ahead and compete with the entire crowd out there. So if I give you a generic example, these would be companies like Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, Cisco, Nasdaq, Sony, Ericsson, Dell, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Nomura, Johnson and Johnson, McKinsey, Shell. So we also maintain the quality of placements from our end. Apart from that, we will be giving you a guaranteed of minimum 3 interviews with top multinational companies that hire for blockchain architects. We'll also be giving you the exclusive access to our job portal. Here, throughout the duration of lifetime, you will be able to see all the vacancies as and when they come with our partnered companies. And even you can apply from your end by showing Intellipaat certification as a verification, post which direct interviews are scheduled for you. Lastly, for all the interviews that you sit for, we would be end-to-end be training you for the same through various mock interviews, set of questions, salary negotiation skills, soft skills training, and all of that. So all of this all together is in one service, which is the job assistance. Then we come to the lifetime free upgrade. See, all the live sessions that you are going to be attending with the instructors are, of course, going to be recorded and put in your learning management portal, along with the access to the self-paced videos as well. All of these videos are going to come to you with a lifetime free upgrade, meaning that even post the completion of the program, you would be able to go ahead and ask them any doubts that you have. And okay, so what a lifetime free upgrade basically means is that anytime in the future, if there are any upgradations or changes in the versions of the technology that you're learning from us, we would be entirely upgrading your content from our end without charging anything extra for the same. At the same time, we will be giving you a lifetime 24/7 technical support as well. So anytime that you have doubts or you're stuck at any particular part of the course, you can directly connect with this team any time of the day or the night that you want, because and it will always be a one-on-one doubt resolution session with them. So either you can call them with your doubts, or you can email them the screenshot to your doubts, or you can even conduct a Google meeting or a Zoom meeting with them. You can share your screen and discuss your doubts with them. All right, so these are the set of services that we would be giving you. Coming to the curriculum, the entire curriculum is laid out in such a manner that we will be taking you from the very basics to the advanced level concepts of this domain. So there is absolutely no prerequisite in terms of anything that you need to know in advance before you take this program, as everything is covered from scratch. All right, so this is the entire learning path that we are going to follow, wherein firstly we will help you out with the introduction to blockchain, a detailed study of blockchain, wherein Merkle trees, apps, decentralization, autonomous organizations, double spend problems, impact on cryptocurrencies, mechanisms, transcriptions, peer-to-peer network, blocks and security measures are covered. Then we go to blockchain and Bitcoin, then Bitcoin mining, Ethereum and working with smart contracts, setting up a private blockchain environment of your own, Hyperledger, Hyperledger Composer, creating a private blockchain with multi-chain, blockchain use cases, and IBM courses. Basically, these are a set of projects that you would be directly getting from IBM. These are all industry-specific projects. Coming to the projects, as I said, you will be working on a lot of industry specific real time projects and case studies throughout the program. So basically these are some of the kind of projects that you would be taking up: setting up hyperledger composer, supply chain management with hyperledger composer, car auction with hyperledger composer, voting with ethereum machine, and all of that. Peer learning is basically an application that you will be getting being a part of Intellipaat's family, wherein you will be added along with all of your classmates and group members into one team, into one group, and along with the Intellipaat's team as well. So that is to enhance a collaborative learning and a classroom-like experience. But at the same time, all job referrals are also shared here. It also is going to help you in terms of networking in the industry, because we have a vast community of learners from students from all different backgrounds and positions in hierarchy. All right, all the major announcements will be made here. If you can see, these are some of the screenshots of one of the classes. All the career services, everything will be given here. The hackathons will be conducted, group projects will be given, class notifications will be sent here, and all of these things are going to be there. Coming to how, when and how the classes are going to be conducted, there is a one batch that we conduct. So basically, okay, coming to the course, there are two types of trainings that we provide to you. One is a self-paced training, wherein we will be giving you 27 hours of e-learning videos that you have to guide yourself through, and it comes with a lifetime free upgrade. But the most preferred mode of training is the online classroom, because here everything is available in self-paced, is being given to you for free. Additionally, you will have live interactive sessions with the instructors over a virtual platform like Google Meets or Zoom. You will have one-on-one doubt resolution sessions with the technical team, and you can attend as many batches as you want for a duration of lifetime without having to pay anything extra for the same. Okay, so even after 2 to 3 years, if you come back and want to revise the entire program, that is completely possible. We will assign you a fresh batch without asking you to pay anything extra for the same. So the batch that we conduct is a weekend batch. So the classes are conducted on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the evening. All right. So it is going to take you a little bit more than a month to basically complete this entire program. The course fee for this particular program is 19,038. There is going to be 18% of GST on top of that, which will make the course fee to somewhere around 22,000 to 23,000. If in case you are really interested in enrolling for this program, I will be putting down my contact details in a short time, so you can connect with me. I personally look after the enrollments for the blockchain course, and I would also be able to help you out with the best discounts from my end to help you get enrolled in a very, very reasonable fees. If in case, you can go ahead and make an enrollment today itself after the webinar. So this is about this program, which is the blockchain program. Now, if I tell you about the post-graduation program in blockchain, I'll help you out with that as well. So this is a post-graduation degree that you will get in blockchain, which is being provided by Belhaven University, which is one of the most reputed universities of USA. All right. So what are the benefits that you are going to get out of this program is that you are going to get a post-graduation degree certificate from Belhaven. So this is what it will represent. It is associated with PLA credits, which is going to signify that you have gotten your post-graduation from Belhaven University in this domain. It is a 5 months worth of a course as live interactive sessions with the instructors on a virtual platform like Google Meets or Zoom. All the content here is coming from Belhaven directly. This particular program is also in partnership with IBM. So you will additionally, on top of the post-graduation degree certificate you are getting, you will also be getting the professional certificate from IBM. You will also be getting the access to the IBM Watson for hands-on training and practice. You're also going to get industry line case studies and project work directly from IBM, and of course the certificate. Now, rest apart, all of the other services are going to be similar. This is going to be instructor-led training as well. Self-paced videos is also given to you. Project work and exercises are also given. It comes with a lifetime free upgrade. Job assistance is the same. Mentor support with this is the same. One-on-one with industry mentors is provided, wherein you will be having, one-on-one sessions with the mentors that are going to teach you as a part of this program. So that is going to ensure you of the personal attention that you require in a learning path. All right, so all of these things are there. Now, coming to the curriculum is more or less the same because in both of the courses we are end to end covering everything that you require to know about blockchain. Now, coming to the fees for this program. The fees for this program is 75,012. There is 18% of GST on top of that, which makes the course fee to 88,514. If in case you are interested to get yourself a degree in blockchain, again, you can connect with me. I will be helping you out with the best discounts from my end to help you get enrolled, provided that you can enroll today itself. For any doubts that you have, you also feel free to connect with me. I am going to just share my screen right now with you. Just allow me a moment, please. So this is going to be my contact details. I am Rudrani. I'm a senior course advisor here at Intellipaat. This is where you can connect with me. Either you can call on this number or you can also um, WhatsApp me on this number. This is available on WhatsApp. And the duration, yeah, my email ID is rudrani@intellipaat.com. You can also write to me directly at rudrani@intellipaat.com. So we would be open to questions now. Any questions if you may have, you can unmute yourself and go forward with it, or otherwise you can also put it down in the chat box. We are going to wait for 2 more minutes. If anybody has any questions, kindly feel free to unmute themselves and go ahead and ask the questions. With this training, definitely you can master the blockchain technology very, very easily. The entire curriculum is designed according to industry requirements. So you do not have to worry about that at all. All right, so I see there are no questions as of now. Again, if you want to go ahead and enroll in either one of these programs, kindly feel free to connect with me over WhatsApp and email ID that is mentioned here. Whether it, if in case you can go ahead and make an enrollment today, I would give you good discounts over the same course. So let me know. And I hope you all have a good evening. And thank you for joining the webinar. Have a good evening. Thank you.